Greetings, everyone. I am Nqabutho Mabhena, Chairman of the Zimbabwe Community in South Africa and Executive Director of the African Diaspora Forum. Today, this morning, the South African Cabinet made an announcement on the future of the holders of the Zimbabwe exemption permits. Many holders of the Zimbabwe exemption permits, as I record this video, they've already seen the statement. We are getting so many calls and the messages from them. We are also getting so many calls from journalists. But what the South African Cabinet said, as we understand it, is that the Zimbabwe exemption permits will not be renewed. But there will be a grace period for 12 months for those that qualify to move to other visas. So it basically means if you do not qualify to move to other visas within the next 12 months, you should have prepared yourself to go back home. But if you do qualify to move to other visas, it means that within the next 12 months, you should have done so if you wish to remain in the Republic of South Africa. Obviously, we are not happy with the decision that was taken by the South African Cabinet. But it's a decision of the South African Cabinet, which we do accept. We do not, as Zimbabweans, particularly as the leadership of the Zimbabwe community in South Africa and of the African Diaspora Forum, do not seek to co-govern with the South African government. So the South African government, it has a right to make its decision informed by its own material conditions, and we accept that. What then happens from now on, in our view, which we will do. But before we get to what we think will happen or what we think we will do, we've always said that the granting of special permits was through negotiations. We've been observing in the last few weeks a lot of things are happening. The court case by some Zimbabweans that sought to compel the South African government to grant permanent residence to holders of ZEP. We've seen some journalists in Zimbabwe hosting discussions on Twitter and other social media, and also making announcements that through their sources, the South African government will extend these permits for 5 years. And we said, when this announcement on social media was made, that even if we do have sources in government, it is wrong for anyone to then announce on behalf of a sovereign state, which is the South African government. So if a journalist was informed by a trusted source that indeed the permits were going to be renewed for 5 years, there was no reason, in our view, for the journalist to go all out and make that announcement and create a media frenzy as we saw in the last few days. We must also note that while we understand the condition and the positions of the South Africans in respect to the presence of migrants, we must, as Zimbabweans, also realize that we are in South Africa, which is not our home. We are visitors. And we must not come with an entitlement attitude to an extent that we are seen angering the citizens of South Africa, putting pressure on their own government. Because if chips are down, the South African cabinet or government would certainly have to go along with what its own citizens are saying, not with what migrants are saying. So we're making this call that let us refrain from negotiating or from having these discussions as was happening involving the judiciary, the South African judiciary, and creating or seeking to negotiate on the future of holders of ZEP through the media. When we started these negotiations in 2010, we made a point that we will never negotiate through the media because the media will build and destroy you. So negotiating through the media is not on. So what are we then going to do going forward from now on? The first thing is to respect the decision of the South African cabinet. That is fundamental. So we respect the South African cabinet decision as announced. And a call on those that are able to move to other visas to do so. But we know that the majority are unable to do so because since 2014, we've been encouraging those that are able to move to other visas to do so. And those that do qualify to move on have moved. But the majority have not moved because they do not qualify. As we welcome the South African cabinet decision, for the next few weeks, few months, we will appeal the decision. We will engage the governing alliance. We will engage the comrades to see if a different decision or a different arrangement can be made. Or firstly, to understand what informed this decision. So the second step after accepting the decision of the South African cabinet is to then understand what informed this decision. After understanding what informed this decision, we will then be guided by the explanation that will be given to us in our normal engagements, which will then inform our way forward. But the first thing, obviously, is to engage comrades, understand how they arrived in this decision. What does it mean to holders of ZEP who are unable to move to other visas as directed by the South African cabinet? Obviously, understanding also the views expressed by South Africans in respect to the renewal of ZEP, as we have seen what's happening on social media. So our call to the holders of ZEP is that as the leadership, we are in consultation with a number of stakeholders, as we have done over the years, to see what is possible and what is not possible in working around the decision that has been announced, because we are not challenging the decision by the South African cabinet. So we will certainly want to see if there is anything that can be worked around the decision on what would mean for those that do not qualify to move to other permits, whether there is a way that there can be some accommodation, whether under a totally different regime. So this is our reaction as the leadership on the South African cabinet decision. We know, as we said a day or so ago, that some companies have already requested some of their employees who are holders of ZEP to submit proof that they will be able to renew permits. And the financial institutions, the banks, have also been contacting their clients to provide evidence that they will renew their permits so that the bank accounts are not frozen. We think that the employers will then understand the decision by the South African cabinet and they give a grace period, as the South African cabinet has done, a 12-month grace period to see if their employees are able to move from ZEP to other visas as directed by the South African cabinet. Secondly, we also hope that the financial institutions will not be closing down people's banks before the 31st of December 2021, and that they will take into account the decision as announced this morning, and they give a grace period to those that have bank accounts with them, so that in the next 12 months and see whether people are able to move to other visas, which will allow them to remain in the Republic. So we thought we needed to record this video. We are under pressure from journalists in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, to comment on the South African cabinet decision, and we think this will assist. As we go forward, we will keep you informed, but let us desist from trying to hold negotiations through social media. It will not help us. Let us desist this attitude of us having this entitlement. Let us understand that we are in South Africa and we have to conduct ourselves in a particular manner and work with the government without putting pressure on it, as has been the case through the various platforms. So thank you so much. Please circulate the video, share with your friends. We know that a lot of people want to know what our position is. Please subscribe. I am Nqabutho Mabhena, Chairman of the Zimbabwe Community in South Africa, Executive Member of the African Diaspora Forum. Thank you. Bye-bye.